Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Eye Opener Society. I am Gary Dean. I am your host. This is another pop up episode that I got going on. I want to thank you, though, for tuning in. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to everybody who works with Eye Opener Society. We all enjoy the company of you, the audience. I wanted to discuss something right now that has to do with the yin and the yang. I started to realize that it doesn't matter what your opinion is. It doesn't matter what you talk about, whether it's just conversation, one on one, or conversation to a group. Everyone has their opinions. And I get that and I realize that. But sometimes it does not matter what it is that you speak about. Sometimes, even if we talk about the most beautiful thing, the most peaceful thing, there's someone who's going to interject their negativity on it. Now, if you have any type of social media, this is rampant. It's just something that we have to live with. Mainstream news, same thing. There's always a constant negative. But when we try to speak and we try to convey something beautiful or something positive, you're always going to face some sort of opposition. Those that are spreading hate, negativity, and destruction, or whatever the case may be, are never really met with resistance that often because we, as peace people, as spiritual people, we don't concern ourselves with the negativity. However, we are affected by the negativity because when we are talking about wonderful things, beautiful things, we still get attacked. People come at us. There's always some sort of negative comment. And you would have to ask yourself, well, why is this? Why can't, the negative people just be quiet, be silent? Don't, interject your negativity on us? Well, the reasoning is relatively simple. It's due to the yin and the yang. Without good, there cannot be any evil. Without evil, there cannot be any good. There's always a dark side to every light side. This is balance, and we need to have this balance in order to achieve what it is we seek spiritually, because we must digest all of it. We can't focus on just one side of it. We cannot always focus only on the good side of things. If we are, then we're ignoring the negative. And if we ignore the negative, then we're unable to do anything about it. And thus, we're not able now to stop it from affecting what is good. It's a constant loop that we go around always. There's nothing wrong with it inherently. We just need to understand where we fit in the good and the bad. And if we fit in on the good side, we have to understand there's going to be moments where there's going to be negative objectivity to everything that we are doing, but we acknowledge it and then we just let it go. Because without acknowledging it, again, if there was nothing bad at all in the world, there would be nothing good. We need that balance. We need to thrive on that balance together. So we just need to focus and shift our attention only to where we want it to be. The people on the negative side are doing the same thing. They're focusing it only on that negative side. Their only MO is to use that and sprinkle it upon all of the good that they hear and see out of jealousy, out of ego, to try and put it down and make themselves seem to be the dominant or at least dominant. Because we are going to understand ourselves that, hey, good is good. We practice peach. I'm sorry, we practice peace. We practice kindness. We practice love. What could be wrong with that? Well, we know nothing is wrong with that. But those who cannot achieve those simple things in life are jealous and their ego comes in check now. And so it's an immediate attack on the people that are trying to help them. Once we understand this, once we realize this, well, we can shift the tables more towards our side. So it should not affect you. It shouldn't bother you. It's just one of those things that are always going to happen. It's always going to be there. Not much we can do about it. Now, on the second part of this, I just wanted to bring something else out. I do enjoy helping people, and I don't mind doing that at all. But I want everybody to understand, though, that I myself, I don't have any doctorates up on the wall. I don't have any kind of, you know, doctoral or therapy training. I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a psychotherapist. What I am is a regular person, just like you. And I go through things myself that everybody else goes through when it comes to emotions, anxiety, depression, whatever the case may be, grand, risings of beauty and happiness. I go through it all. And what I have is basically experience, just like everybody else does. But some people, they're stuck in loops that you keep coming around to the same negative feeling. And it's great to have somebody to talk to that, sometimes you just want a friend, someone to be there, someone who's just hearing you that has been through the same things that you have. And when you listen to them, it might comfort you. And you don't need a doctorate for that. You don't need PhDs. You don't need any type of, certifications for that. You're just talking to another human being, which I think helps more than anything else because a regular human being is going to be available sometimes much quicker than a doctor and making an appointment and all. So having said that, you can reach out to me if you need somebody to talk to and just, try and figure things out together. But on that same note, I've had a couple of people reaching out to me, and I don't want to sound negative myself. I don't want to judge. I'm not, but I do want to make it clear that there are some people that do have some very serious mental disorders. I'm not able to help. Like I said, because I don't have, these certifications or licenses or anything, there's things I'm not going to be able to help with. And that's sometimes hard for me to swallow because I like to help everybody, but I'll lead you into the direction that you need to go. Hopefully you get the correct help that you do need. But in this community, and again, I don't want to sound bad, but I want to sound completely authentic on this. There is a lot of mental crisis that goes on because we are seeing things differently than the average person. As a collective, we are all able to, dive into spirit. We're able to dive into multi dimensions. And it's very difficult to live in the 3D world when we are in these much, much higher levels. And yes, it does. It affects us. It affects us mentally, the way we work, the way we do things. So let me just focus on you for 1 second. Do the best you can, but take charge of your life. This is not something to take lightly. Take charge of your life. Know the direction that you want to go in. Focus and achieve. Yes, do you know what? The real truth is we have to live in this 3D world. That's where we are. That's where our bodies are set. Our souls may be able to go further. But we need to understand that we need to learn to live in each one of these dimensions. Crying about it and saying that you can't do it is all negative. Learn, practice, meditate. Do things that the 3D world require when necessary. I don't ask you to, totally give in to the matrix and all, but There needs to be a steady balance. And again, it all comes back to balance. And especially for me as a Libra, balance means a lot to me, zodiac or not. It's balance. We're going to have the good, the bad. We're going to have the happiness. We're going to have the sadness. But once we level out those scales, or in an alchemist form, we're able to transmute the negatives into the positives. But we need to learn this. We can learn this from each other in this collective, though. That's where you could come to me. eosmeditation@gmail.com. Just reach out. Hi, Gary. I'm having this problem. Do you think you could help me? And let's talk about it. But again, when it goes beyond that, when it goes beyond regular questions, or if you have a serious mental disorder, I'm not able to help you. And again, if you do reach out, I'm going to point you into the directions that you need to go where you can get help, professional help. And once your mind is clean, you can come to me and then we could talk as human beings. But I wanted to say this only because I've been approached by a few people that I just couldn't help. But it's very, very important for me to say you need to take control of your life. We all fall on bad times. We all have a struggle. Sometimes we have nothing but negative, it seems like. But the only reason we do is because we're putting that upon ourselves. If you're doing nothing at all to improve your life, and you're only saying, I can't, I can't, I can't. Up here in your mind now, it's telling you you can't because you're reaffirming it. So your mind's like, okay, we can't. To get better, you need to change that perspective. You need to work again on yourself hard. Come to the realization that you really have a problem and that you really want to fix yourself. Because no amount of people are going to help you if you're not willing to accept that help. And I hate, for people to be on pharmaceuticals. That's probably one of the worst things, especially to me, at least in my opinion, when it comes to psychotropic medications. But if they're needed, maybe you could get on them temporarily until you can stabilize yourself enough to where you say, I'm taking control of my life. I'm taking control of my emotions. I don't want to be this way anymore. I want to be better. That's the only time that's going to happen. And again, I'm judging no one. And I'm putting nothing out there to say you're bad for being this way. What is bad is the negativity that comes behind it. Because all the forward things, all of the things you're going through and you're suffering with are there because in the background, you're just saying, I can't, I can't, I can't, I give up, I'm not doing it. That's why the forefront, the negativity, the bad things happening to you, the bad emotions, that's why they're happening. I don't need a PhD for that. That's just very standard, everyday intuition that we're putting upon ourselves. If you're going to manifest the negative will come. And here's the crazy thing about all that negative stuff is the easiest thing to manifest. Because you realize when you're trying to manifest the really good stuff, especially like I'm manifesting my riches, these are the hardest things because you really need to learn to live. But the negative things are so easy to come by because they're so low vibrational. They filter their way into everything. So the moment that you're saying, I can't, or I will not, or I'm a failure, immediately those manifestations come to light. Boom. Just because, again, they're low vibrational. Low vibrational, really small. It trickles into everything instantly. The higher vibrational stuff, the stuff that is the most important, it's a very high vibrational. It spreads itself out. So it's a little bit more difficult to manifest because we're manifesting something larger. But it comes easier when you're putting the intentions into action by saying, I can, I will, and I'm doing. I hope you found this an ounce of, help somewhere in my words. I just wanted to thank, though, everybody, and I hope everyone is healthy, safe, and most of all, happy. I wish that for everybody, even the ones that are not in that state right now. I hope it comes quickly. I hope you heal. I love everyone, and I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful day. Tune into my Monday episodes with Lizzie, my favorite. Join us on our Monday morning episodes of Eye Opener Society. And don't forget our Wednesday night guided meditations and any other pop up that comes along. And don't forget Elaine's Arcane Oracle, Sunset Child's Out There podcast, Anne Lund's Haunted and Waiting, Hannah Rose's The Sound Within. I look forward to everybody tuning in, and thank you again for joining me.